Up and Adam, I'm Jack Tomzak. That is Ben Cruzy.
Good morning.
That is the lovely Siri Freeh.
Good morning.
We spend most of our time talking news, politics, and policy on Up and Adam, but not surprisingly, that's not what the majority of Americans are talking about.
Our intrepid reporter, Siri Freeh, spends hours sifting through the landfill of American culture to bring you the top 5 trending topics on social media. Siri, what's trending?
Number 5.
Well, it reinforced the values of friendship. It was a constant lesson in responsibility, and it died a slow death in your junk drawer when you got sick of beeping and feeding the thing.
Tamagotchi?
Oh, yes, and it's back.
Tamagotchis are back?
Yeah. For those of you who may not remember, this toy was a major part of 90s life.
I remember my Japanese teacher in high school had a connection to these things, and she was the most popular teacher because she knew when the Tamagotchis were coming into the Toys R Us.
I remember when I got one of these finally for Christmas. I'd been asking for it forever. And 2 hours after I got it, I bawled that night because I realized I'd have to take care of this thing. And
Forever.
I had such a heart for it. I didn't want to let it die.
Right.
It was awful. Well, available recently as an app, now Bandai is relaunching the virtual fob pet as Tamagotchi friends. Sharing the common thread of birth decade and object of disdain, the dreaded Furby is back as well.
Are we out of ideas?
Apparently,
right?
We've been rehashing movies. We're going to rehash
Toys?
toys.
You know what's the sad part? It's going to be one of the hottest toys this holiday.
The Furby?
Yeah.
What's the Furby do other than,
Well, it's different. It's
Now
got 6 new colors and 5 new personalities. So it's totally different.
I get the jerk Furby.
I don't understand these
Furby,
virtual
say something.
pets or these fake pets. What happened to having a puppy for Christmas or getting a puppy for Christmas?
That's actually a terrible thing to do. You don't know how many times I read stories.
I know. I've heard.
People
I've
who work
heard.
at shelters going, why did you get these puppies if you did not realize the responsibility you were getting into?
Yep.
Get your kid the Tamagotchi, because at least when they let that thing die, you don't
They'll
actually
cry
have to
and
shovel
feel
it
like
up
they're
and bury
killing
it.
an animal.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Brian Griffin, a white Labrador who had lived with the Griffins on Family Guy for 11 years, died on Sunday in front of the Griffin home on Spooner Street. He was 8, or 56 in human years.
I find that hard to believe.
It's crazy. He was tragically killed by a hit-and-run accident when he and pal Stewie were preparing to play street hockey. Brian, whose shocking death appears to be a permanent storyline change, has already been replaced in the Griffin clan by the tough-talking pooch the Griffins purchased at a pet store. His name is Vinny, right? That's their new pooch that they
I
purchased.
don't watch TV.
I've yet to see
you
the
watch?
episode, and I've had it. I do watch Family Guy.
It's wildly popular.
Missed this Sunday's episode going. I knew there was.
Spoiler alert.
I knew. Right.
Oh, it was out there.
It got
Everybody-
spoiled the very next day.
I know,
And it's
I know.
impossible to hear. There's a lot of very angry Family
they were
Guy fans.
outraged. No,
But there
absolutely.
are also just as many Family Guy fans who are coming to the assumption that this is merely a ploy, that at some point they're going to bring Brian back.
Yeah, who knows? Well,
would think so.
They already started a petition on change.org, and on Monday,
Wait, this is the White House's website,
change.org. Yes, and they had 15,000 petition signatures on Monday. Yesterday it was 30,000. It's like, guys, petitions don't do anything.
They don't
I'm going
do
to die
anything.
old and alone.
Number 3.
Well, this past weekend, the American Music Awards was yet another award show that was held. I feel like we have award shows every other weekend.
That or a pageant.
It's country music. It's the music awards that really get me, because how much do we need to honor musicians? They
Right.
really aren't, especially now. Most of it's done inside the computer. Exactly what is the
Should we be
artist
honoring
doing?
engineers?
Yeah, we should be honoring.
Maybe we
the
should. Maybe
people
then,
behind the board
young
mixing.
people will go into college and get a real degree.
We should honor the 6 producers and the 7 writers that it takes to make one Beyonce song.
Well, it's
Yeah,
pretty
right.
clear, though, the real talent of any production event are the people on the other side of the glass, Eric. Wouldn't you agree?
oh, I couldn't agree more.
No.
Oh, well.
I say that on a daily basis. No one listens.
Let's
so.
be honest, though. Celebs, this gives them the opportunity to shock and awe the masses once again. So this year's battle for the limelight seemed to have a few too many competitors, honestly. First of all, Rihanna came with this crazy.
Riri.
Yeah, that's her nickname. She came with a
Thought it was Puff
doobie.
Daddy.
She came with a
A doobie?
wrap. Yeah.
Like a marijuana cigarette?
No. no, her hairstyle. It's where African American women usually do it to just give their hair more volume and bounce.
Okay.
So they wrap their hair around their head, and then they put like a handkerchief or something over it, and then the next day they'll take it out. A doobie wrap. So basically, it was like she walked in with
I believe
curlers
doobie wrap
left
was
in her
one
hair.
of the American Music Awards for best doobie wrap.
Well, she
Hip-hop
won it.
doobie rap.
And of
She'd
course,
look good in anything.
of course,
Pretty much.
Cyrus drove us nuts by singing in front of a virtual cat.
At least she
Like
kept her
Paula
clothes
Abdul.
on.
You know what? Yeah. You know what really drives me nuts is that these celebs think they're being so creative. They're like, "Oh, I'm being artistic." It's like just because you're weird.
Everybody's been doing this before.
Exactly. Whatever.
Number 2.
The Girl on Fire is still burning bright. The hotly anticipated Hunger Games Catching Fire trounced the competition over its first weekend at
Thank
the
you,
box office, pulling in an estimated $161.1
I saw it
million.
ended weird, but
I
it was good.
stunned by, well, it's a trilogy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Then the,
Yeah, but-
the second one always ends weird.
it's true.
True on this one. This was extra weird.
Well, only 3 films have ever opened higher
Brian
than
Griffin
Catching
die?
Fire. Oh, gosh.
Go ahead.
So the 3 films that opened up higher than the second movie is The Avengers at 207, Iron Man 3 at 174, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, $169.2 million. So why the wild success? Now, this is what I think is interesting. Is it because the books are just that good? Well, most people haven't read the books. What it really highlights is this changing role or something that we admire in women. And that's not to say that women are, it's a feminist thing.
Is it
It's
weird?
that she is being independent. She's focused on a deeper purpose in her life than just finding another boyfriend.
Strong
Who's
female
going to be your
roles.
boyfriend? That's the movie. That's every movie line now. Who's going to hook up? Who's going to get together?
Is there
And
a
that's what's
romantic
so
interest
cool.
in this movie?
There's
There
2,
is,
and
but
we don't know which one she's going to pick. There's PETA, who's a load. He's a load. She drags him both in the Hunger Games and through the movie. And then there's Thor's brother, who's dreaming. I pay attention to these things.
The
Now,
movies-
here's the thing. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, I was just going to say the movies are okay. They're not bad. I enjoyed the first one, and I'll probably get conned into seeing the second one. But the books are written for children. They're not very good books.
No, but that's even the Vampire Diary, or not Vampire Diaries, what Twilight.
Twilight.
Yeah, those poorly written books.
And they're bad
Poorly made
movies.
movies.
Before we get to number 1, though,
Yes.
I want to tie these movies into what you were talking about the American Music Awards. Why does it seem that these music awards award simply the most popular musicians, while your Oscars and your Emmys award the most artistically
Interesting.
good movies? And why
That's
is
a good point.
why are these Grammys and American Music Awards? They seem to go to simply who's played the most on pop
Because with music,
stations.
you can't give Tori Amos all the awards all the time. That's why they just go so
I thought
popular.
that the Grammys were kind of the Oscars of music, and that the American Music
No,
Awards were indeed
no,
fan.
The Grammys are a joke as well. The Grammys are an absolute joke, but the fact is that there's a lot of people clamoring for Oscars to start acting like the Grammys and going, look, this movie made $160 million, this Catching Fire Hunger Games.
Twilight 5.
Twilight 5.
Catching Fire.
Made this much money, but it's not going to get any Oscar buzz except
It
for
should.
maybe for
Lawrence is a great
sound
actress.
effects or visual effects.
And Jennifer Lawrence is incredibly good looking.
She's
Would
got
you
her
agree, Ben?
Oscar.
She is fantastic.
Number 1.
And well, I would love to confirm to you that the trending holiday, or that the impending holiday, is our top trend this week. Sadly,
It's not Thanksgiving?
it has been beat out. I'll give you gentlemen one guess.
Well, it's Black Friday.
Friday.
Yes, it is a travesty. It is awful. Despite the fact that polls show the majority of Americans do not support the commercial assault on Turkey Day, 97 million people are expected to go out on Black Friday.
97 million?
97 million.
Now, this isn't immediately at 4 a.m, but this is eventually sometime on Friday. They might go
Well,
shopping.
Black Friday opens on Thursday now, so it doesn't,
Yeah.
I mean,
Black Friday is a little bit like Super Bowl Sunday, where it's just, it's a 5-day thing.
yeah, pretty much. Well, so for those of you joining the siege, here are a few tips from the Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen, to get you
Nice.
through. Katniss Everdeen's Guide to Black Friday Shopping. Number 1, keep your eye on the prize. High-def TV first, junk for your friends later. Don't let the other shoppers see your fear. They can smell it from miles away, and they will trample you. 3, be sure to carbo load. That leftover mashed potato and rolls are vital. And number 4, Black Friday is not about friendship. It's every shopper out for themselves out there.
No,
That's
they
right,
show
you're not-
that every year when there's wrestling over the $10 off the DVD rewritable spindle. There's
You're fighting over electronics that weren't that great to begin with. That you weren't fighting over this
You're fighting
a week
over
ago.
garbage.
You won't fight over this a week from now.
Go get your deals. Help the American economy. Don't listen to these people.
I will be going out on Black Friday.
Go online, shop in your pajamas.
Yeah,
I can shop in
Cyber
my pajamas
Monday.
on Black Friday.
Cyber
I
Monday.
do anyway.
That's my day.
There we go.
Thank
And
you
that's
so
what's
much.
trending.
Thank you so much, Siri, for letting us know that all the toys we're going to be buying we could have bought 20 years ago,
Yep.
and because they'll all come back around.
I've got a bag of Tickle Me Elmos.
Oh, save those puppies.
And thanks for letting us know that apparently the internet just doesn't care about Thanksgiving.
It's sad. Or flex our culture.
Thank you, Siri.
You're welcome.